What up, everybody? In the past year, I have lost 50 pounds. But how, you might be asking? I think everybody that has tried to lose weight and keep it off has found myself in the same situation that I was in last year. Here's a picture of me at 235, and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you where I'm at right now. I've gotten to the point now when I'm interacting with people I know every day that they're even starting to notice that I've lost weight. Now, for years, I have struggled with actually losing weight. I was able to gain weight and get stronger, no problem. I've been lifting for 6 or 7 years, but I actually wasn't able to lose weight very well until this past year and a half, where I was able to finally figure out exactly how it works and understand it and tackle it head on. So in this video, I'm going to show you ways that I did it and encourage you guys to lose weight over the next year, especially if you're feeling like you're just a bit heavier than you want to be. So let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so I'm recording this in my living room. I'm trying a different location just for funsies, and yeah, so awesome. I just want to preface this video by saying this is really important to me. I know I'm not the only person who didn't understand how this worked, especially when you hear so much bad information about losing weight. So I'm going to keep talking about that in multiple videos moving forward because I want people to actually know how it works so that they can be successful and actually move toward their goals. Because the biggest reason why people get discouraged is because they don't understand it and they don't realize how this works. Something that I completely forgot to mention that I can't assume you know about is calories in versus calories out. Now, what does that mean? Well, calories in is how many calories you're eating, and calories out is how many calories you're burning. Now, I'm not going to go into the specifics of how that works, but all you need to know is you need to have your calories in be less than your calories out. That's the only way you will lose weight. So what I'm talking about in this video are ways for you to help either sides of that equation, making the calories out higher so that you're burning more calories out than you are consuming in, or lowering the number of calories in so that normal calories out is still higher than your calories in. That's what you're going for here. All right, so before I list each of these things, what I want to say is I did not do all of these things at the same time. They actually went in phases. I did one, lost a little bit of weight, plateaued, and then went to the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing, until the compounding effect of these over time, eventually, once I had mastered one of these things, I could move on to the next thing, keep losing weight, push past a plateau, and get to where I am now. All right, so the first thing that you really should focus on when trying to lose weight is focus on protein. Now, what do I mean by that? Because yeah, of course you have protein, everybody has protein, but how much protein are you actually having? A good way to start is take your body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, multiply that by 1. That's as simple as it is. That's how many grams of protein you should be having a day, roughly. You can be about 75% of that. So if you're 200 pounds, you could be 150 grams of protein, 150 to 200. You don't need that much protein. The reason why you want more protein in your diet, though, is because protein is satiating. That means that if you eat a lot of protein, you will be full. And this is really important when losing weight, to be full, because you don't have to starve yourself on a diet. You can have a lot of protein. That's why carnivore diets work really well, is because they have a lot of meat, which can be high in calories if it's really fatty, but most of the time you're full. You haven't overeaten the amount of calories that you should be having. It's also important to understand which foods are actually protein. Most people just ascribe protein because it has some sort of protein to it, but that's not actually what you would consider a food with high protein to be. So foods that are not high in protein would be nuts. I know this is controversial, but look at the nutrition facts on nuts. I'm not saying they're not good, but nuts are high in fat. They're not high in protein. You can have a small handful of nuts, or you can have a giant chicken breast. Which one do you think is going to make you more full? Chicken proportionally is high protein, which is why bodybuilders like it so much. Things like trail mix are not high in protein. They're mostly fat. Again, look at the nutrition label. If you have a protein bar, for example, that has 10 grams of protein but 15 grams of fat, that's not a protein bar. That is a candy bar. You need to find a protein bar that has high amounts of protein in proportion to the rest of the macronutrients on it. All right, so once you start focusing on that, you will probably start losing weight. But another important thing to work towards is you can't just focus on diet. You also need to focus on exercise. Now, what I recommend and what I learned from watching people like Greg Doucette, Dr. Mike with Renaissance Periodization, is work on 150 minutes of cardio a week. Now, that can be anything from a walk to playing basketball with your friends to ultimate frisbee to riding on the elliptical, walking on the treadmill. Pick whatever you like. That's the point, is pick something you like like and do that for 150 minutes. The key is to do something that you like. So basketball, for example, if you really like to play basketball, that counts as cardio. If you've made it this far into the video, be sure to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm only going to ask you to subscribe. You can like it if you want, but I really want you to subscribe. It would mean a lot. Anyway, let's get back to the video. All right, so the third thing that I did was I actually switched to using diet sodas or artificial sweeteners as a substitute for sweet drinks. Now, I know this is controversial, very controversial. In fact, my family actually disagrees with me on this one quite heavily, but I would like you to look at the results, which again will be at the end of this video. Diet soda, I can link some videos in the description about why I think that they're actually not as harmful for you as they're touted to be. But what I will say is that I don't necessarily say that having diet soda all the time as a substitute for water is a great idea. What I am saying though is if you're going to have something sweet, if you're going to have Coke, then have a Diet Coke, because at least you're not drinking the calories. I also use diet sodas or diet drinks as a substitute for dessert, because for me, I want something sweet at the end of the day, especially after dinner. Having a diet soda cures that sweet tooth, and now I don't need a dessert anymore. All right, a fourth one that was really important for me is figuring out your out to eat go-tos. Now for me, this is typically Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, the Lord's meat, thank you. What I really like about Chick-fil-A is that you can either have the normal nuggets, which are fine. They're actually super high in protein. There's a bit of fat in them because of the bread and carbs because of the breading, but overall they're okay. Once you start getting into lower calorie needs though, you can switch to the grilled chicken, and their grilled chicken is actually quite amazing. And again, you don't have a lot of calories. A 12 count of the grilled chicken is only 200 calories, which is pretty good. Chipotle or Qdoba, those are great options too, because you can stack the meat on these places, or you can control the macronutrients a lot better than you could at other restaurants. I also really like going to Panda Express because you can get a lot of chicken and rice, plain white rice instead of having the fried rice, because the white rice actually has less things in it. Understanding when you go out to eat, what are your go-tos? If you're going to Applebee's, are you going to get the wings or are you going to get a burger? Are you going to get grilled chicken and broccoli, or are you going to get fries as your side? So it's important to have a game plan, but just having go-tos when you're out and about, you can't always plan your meals. All right, so those are just a few things that I did to lose weight. These aren't the only things. There's tons of other things, and I'm going to go over those in future videos. But what I want to show you guys is where I'm at right now. So this is before and this is after. I have lost 50 pounds since last May 2022, and as of filming this video, it is October 2023. I am almost to my goal weight of 180. I was 235, but I'm hoping to get to 180 here soon, and then I'm going to bulk up a bit, and I'll share some of what I'm doing to get there. Thanks guys for watching this video. Be sure to like this video, comment if there is something that you found useful, or if you have other hacks that you have, but I will go over this further in the future. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this video. Appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.